Well, how's this for hot? She's the star of this spring's sleeper, Baby It's You. She's received rave reviews from critics around the country who have seen it. And if that weren't enough, she is also the subject of one of the top songs of the past year. And we're talking Rosanna. Here she is, Rosanna Arquette. Hi.
Hi.
Now I guess everybody knows that Rosanna was actually written about you, right?
Mm-hmm.
By a member of the group of which your boyfriend is a member of.
Yes, David Page wrote the song. Steve Carl is my boyfriend.
Yeah. Well, wait. What did Steve say about David writing a song about you?
No, he liked it. I mean, it's not our story or anything. It's just, I guess I was just inspiration. That's what they say.
But you know now you're going to go into the ranks of Sherry, Diana, Michelle, and all the others. I mean, that's a pretty heavy thing on your shoulders there. Yeah, I mean, you'll be around forever. So you and you and Steve are old and gray. You can always listen back to that song together. Tell us about Baby It's You, what you did in Hoboken, New Jersey.
Baby It's You is a movie directed by John Sayles and produced by Amy Robinson and Griffin Dunn, and it's about the 60s, growing up in the 60s and making choices.
What you didn't do, you didn't grow up in the 60s.
I was a child of the 60s. I was a flower child.
Oh, so you weren't the...
I was in the love-ins and stuff. My parents were really politically active, so I was one of those flower children.
Oh, were they really?
Mm-hmm.
Were they in show business?
Kill No More, Paint on My Body.
Did you really have all that?
Went to Woodstock and...
Did you go to Woodstock?
Yeah, and I used to scream it. I remember going, "Stop the war, kill no more."
Did you know what the war was all about?
I just knew that it was bad.
Yeah. What now? Your parents, were they in show business?
Yeah, my mother's a poet, and my father's, Louis Arquette, is an actor and writer.
And your grandfather, of course, is Cliff Arquette. Everybody knows him as Charlie Weaver. And somebody mentioned downstairs today that he looked like a perfect, huggable grandfather.
He was like Santa. That's what he was like to me, because I didn't know him when I was working. I just knew him as Grandpa, who's going to bring us presents. That's terrible.
When he came to the house, though, he came as Cliff Arquette, not as Charlie Weaver.
Right.
You know.
I wouldn't see him very much. I would see him like once a year.
Yeah.
So.
Well, the film now, you did this film, and before this, you did the Executioner song, right? The Gary Gilmore story, where you played his girlfriend. Nicole. And you went from one really serious, heavy part to Baby It's You, which is not a comedy, but it's kind of fun in a lot of ways.
Yeah, the Baby It's You was a lot lighter than the Executioner song. The Executioner song was really changed my life, and it was hard to do because
it did? How?
Just that, well, we shot everything where it took place. It just was like a heavy, very depressing thing. I don't think I would do something like that again, because the subject was real, and it really did happen, and we were dealing with the people that were surrounded, that were really there, the families, and I spent a lot of time with Nicole.
The real Nicole?
Yeah, and just to get into the part.
We were talking downstairs, too, now. We're trying to remember how it ended, and we'll get off that subject and move on to Baby It's You.
Okay.
But did she and Gary Gilmore have a suicide pact?
Yes,
and
they did. He had her convinced that if she committed suicide, they would be together in another life, so she tried to, and then they found her, a friend found her, so she was rushed to the hospital and sent to a mental institution, and he was sent back to death row, and they never got to see each other again. And then Larry Schiller bought the rights and grabbed her and wrote the story. So.
Now, that was a pretty high budget, made-for-television show, and John Sayles' film Baby It's You is rather low budget.
It was, I think, $3 million, which is a very low budget for a film nowadays.
Yeah, and as we said, you shot it...
But it's beautifully
Oh, it's great, yeah. As we said, you shot it in Hoboken.
Hoboken, New Jersey. We had a great cinematographer, Michael Bauhaus, who was Fassbender's original photographer. He did The Marriage of Maria Braun and stuff, so it looks real nice.
Were you surprised by all the reaction to it? The critics?
Yes.
And how much they like it?
Very much.
Yeah. You also like the story, don't you? Because it shows a film finally from a woman's point of view.
That's why I took the role, because it was, first of all, it was a growing, I loved that she was young and then grew, and she really had a metamorphosis, and that was neat.
Well, she goes through her flower child period, too, in the film, doesn't she? You played Jill Rosen, a daughter of a doctor, and you meet the sheik, who is from the other side of town. Did you ever know anybody like Jill Rosen?
I was nothing like her. I think my mom might have been like her when she was young.
Really? We have a clip, and I don't know if you can set it up for us or not.
Okay, is this the cafeteria scene?
Cafeteria scene.
This is the first, this guy has been following her around. He likes her, the Sheik. And,
this is where he first actually... around the country, so we're in a lot of cities that are watching us and haven't heard of it yet. It's because it'll be coming there soon, I guess. But don't miss it. I don't always say that, but don't miss it. It's a good picture. How's things changed now since the film?
I think it's, I'm able to kind of pick and choose right now what I want to do without, you know, I mean, my rent's paid, and that's what my rent's paid.
Which is nice.
Yeah, that's what it is.
You do have a lot of scripts and stuff coming in, which
I have to be a waitress right now.
Did you actually do that before? Waitress?
No, never. I did it like in summer camp. I did it like when I was 15, but I never, I've been working since I was 17 pretty steadily and as an actress, so I've always supported myself as an actress, so I've really been lucky.
Now with, knock on wood, and that's real too.
Yeah, I know.
Now Steve being with Toto, which is a real hot group, and now you're hot, and the two of you will be in the public eye. Is that going to do anything to the relationship, or has it?
We just did an article today,
I was hoping you'd bring him by tonight.
I would have. He's with Yamaha today. He just went and got a brand new synthesizer. You know, he's a synthesizer genius. So he's so excited that he got this new synthesizer. So he's busy.
Yeah.
No, we're real close. We're best friends, and it's hard because he has working hours. He works at night, all night, and I work in the day. So he'll come home at 6 o'clock in the morning and sleep till 2 in the afternoon or something, and go back to work.
And then you're out doing your stuff.
Yeah,
too.
so we have a hard time. It's like we just went away this weekend, went up to Carmel and stuff, but it's sometimes, you know, I miss him a lot, and he misses me. Like, or I'll be in New York doing publicity or something. And
you both must have your share of groupies to deal with. How do you look at that?
Especially him.
Especially him, really?
Oh, I went on the road with him. I went on the road with Toto for 3 months this summer. I was the only girl, and afterwards I was like, I need to talk to a girl. I was so, God, these guys, they were great, but they, you know, after a while, without being their women and stuff, there's a lot of girls. This one girl showed up at our doorstep with champagne, flowers, and her bags.
No.
I swear to God, her suitcase. She said, there's Steve there? She's like, she got, and I said, yeah, he's right here. Steve comes in, and he's like, I think he knew her like a couple years ago. Yeah, that's what it was.
A skeleton.
Yeah, she said, we have unfinished business. I said, really? Then she followed us around for 3 days, okay? And then I was going, what is going on with this girl? I mean,
followed you around?
Yeah, and then she would stand there and she'd say, I have to talk to Steve. And she'd be staring at him like this. And I was like, God, I hope this girl doesn't have a knife or something. He's going to stab me in the back. Then I looked at the road manager and went, get rid of her. No, she started scaring me. She did. You never know. I mean, like, I thought she was maybe going to shoot me or something. Get me. Yeah, I don't know. It was kind of scary after 3 days.
Have you picked anything yet you're going to be doing next?
Everything is in the future, like in September and November, and I can't really talk about it. I hate saying that, but
but you got
I've got a lot of there's
like you said, you're paying your rent.
I'm going to be working I'll be working very shortly, but right now, at this moment, probably this next month or so, I'm going to be just reading a lot. I have been reading a lot and writing with my best friend Wendy Smith Howard, who's an actress too. Oh, and we write together.
Okay. Again, thank you so much for coming by and seeing us,
Thank
Rosanna. I always wanted to meet you, and hope you and Steve stay together a real long time.
Me too.
But if anything happens, I'd love to be Mr. Rosanna Arquette. We'll be right back with Peter Horton. Stay with us.